This is my go-to everyday makeup, especially for summer. And for those of you who don't like to wear foundation in summer, but you still want to conceal some things and brighten the face and give your face some color and kind of balance and even things out a little bit, this is for you. Just a few colors and a few quick steps. So to start out, I am going to be using this bright orange color called 05, and I'm filling in color where I need it. So this is going to help balance out my face. In areas that is lacking color, it's just going to bring it closer to the areas that I have a lot of color. In our skin, when it's really fair, it does have that excess of cyan blue, and so the orange just really counteracts that really well. Notice how I'm using a really fluffy brush. You want to be very light-handed. You should not see orange on the skin. If you do, you're using too much. Now I'm going in with this Sculpt color. I love this color to add some shape and dimension to the face and fill in areas around my melasma where I'm missing color. You can see I move in with a smaller brush and I'm filling in the holes in my cheek where I'm missing pigment. This gives me a really, really natural sculpt. And again, because of the formulation of these colors, it's not going to add texture to the skin. It's just staining the skin with this color. You may need something like a neutral orange or something like that. Everyone's skin is a little bit different, but you'll actually be surprised on how similar we all are. Now I'm going in with the blush. You can pick any blush that you want. This is not necessary to use a Demi blush, but these are really highly saturated, so you don't need a lot of product. And I'm just filling in the gaps where I'm missing color. I do like my blush to look natural across the apples of my cheeks, so that's where I place it. Now I'm using this neutral violet to add definition to the eye. Everything we do on our faces, whether it's blush, contour, eyeshadow, it all is creating contrast and defining things. And so in this case, it's going to be a really natural way to create eyeshadow. Now I'm moving to filtering, and this is where I'm subtracting color. So I'm going in with colors that will target excess color in my skin. Everyone, if we have excess color, is going to have some sort of blue in it. Whether that is a true blue or a green or a purple, those are usually the things that stand out and are distracting. And right now I'm using a really fluffy small brush and I'm hitting the larger areas with just the tiniest amount of an orange. And you can see how it's toning that area and making those spots disappear so they blend in with my skin. For me and my skin tone, I'm using 03. For you, this could be O. It really just depends, and if you need help with that, I can help. The biggest key with filtering is not doing too much. You don't need to hit every single spot. You need to keep color on the skin or it won't look natural anymore. Subtracting all color on the skin will make you look washed out, and you're not going to be happy with the end result, especially if you're going for a summer glowy skin. You can see I'm lightly touching the areas of excess color and you don't see pigment left behind. I'm not using a lot of product. Now I switched to a smaller brush and I'm going in with a red orange for some more muddy areas around the eye. Now areas of excess green are going to look a little mulchy and kind of like a light brown shade. And again, you don't have to remove all color or all the spots, just the most distracting ones, and don't use too much product. If you see me tapping with my finger, that is just removing any excess color that I might have applied. Now I'm going back in with that orange and I'm hitting the darkest points within my redness. And that's just going to take out the blue that's in that purple and leaving behind the red, which is the cheek color that I'm going for. I love my freckles. I love the natural color that I have in my skin. And so I'm not targeting everything, just the areas that I want to brighten and create a little bit more balance. So I do filter a little bit right here at the bottom of my cheek, just so it lifts my cheek a little bit. Now for my nose, I have a lot of broken capillaries and some dark areas, and it does look red, but I do not use any greens. I'm still in here with that orange, hitting the darkest points within this redness. And
you'll find that once you hit the darkest points, the redness kind of dissipates. But because I already have a lot of natural pink around my nose, it just will blend and look like it fits in. Now there are a few areas here under my eye that are a little bit more purple, so I am going to go in with a little bit of a yellow orange, and if it looks purple, it's going to have some vibrancy to it, so it will look red. But then the rest of these veins are in excess of blue, so I'm going back in with that orange. And notice I moved to a much smaller brush, and this will really help me be very precise with the veins. I switch back and forth between brushes a lot because you really want to use a brush the size of the distraction. It's going to make it really easy and quick, and you won't make as many mistakes. This whole process for me will take me from like 10 to 15 minutes. It really just depends on how my skin is behaving that day. But to me, it's worth it to take the extra time to be a little bit more precise with where I am covering, to allow the rest of my skin to glow and breathe and just be skin. Even in the heat, I don't have to worry about this melting off my face because you're really using such a tiny amount of product. You don't have to stress about moving. I am constantly pulling away from the mirror and not looking super close just to see what is actually distracting, because while it may appear up close that there's tons of things I could filter, from far it looks like skin and it's not really that big of a deal. You don't have to hit every single spot. For my lips, I'm using a little bit of that 05 just to kill some of the blue that's in my lip. And then I'm going in with that neutral violet to line my lip a little bit. And then I'm going to fill it in with that same color I used on my cheeks really, really lightly. Notice I'm using a fluffy brush and it quickly adds color and pigment to my lips. To finish, I'm going in with the balm just to add some moisture and extra glow to specific areas of my face. I'm going to post a graphic here at the end with the colors I use. The top level is my most important ones and the rest is extra. Everyone's going to have a few must-have colors, and then you can fill in the gaps with other products that you have. And if you need help picking out those colors, just go to charitytay.com and fill out my color match form.